Won't fail. can't carry any more of that. Thanks for. Not enough room. Whew. It's over.
Blade and spear, steel and stone.
I'm sure that's not the last of us.
Won't fit.
Perhaps if you take this. No, I think many of these if it there are yet tales what I my liberator. Oh, good to see it yet tread Yesha's throne. Shall we likewise walk the paths of history? Indeed, two-handed one. On the contrary. Let us first be gloried in that title. A funerary priest of the dead, one who wraps the powerful in glory. And in Muslim, we guarded the flesh of the great and sought their resurrection. For many epochs, the highborn did not fear but there are other ways to die. If life could be taken, could it not? This was the province of the Lemir. But let us start at the beginning. Would it hear the history of the clan? In the time before, it is said that there came a great and yielded only with his flock drowning in woe. The leader of the Pan, with their god of many faces cutting the waves before them. The Pan, the Vaughns prayed, and the Red Widows wept. For no one knew if the Dark Sea had 100 days lit the hunt. But on the 101st day, as the Red Widow in the foremost, singing, "Glory to the Pan," Yesha rose like the dawn before the king who was. Him known to the Pan as cold, quick of blade was he in his youth, a fearsome general. But the exploits of youth brought Colket no peace in age. They said fate offered a choice. Flee the land of his fathers. Colket hesitated no more in pilgrimage than he had in he sailed from the place that was with the past in peace before the crossing's end. Greet the god of many faces had none speak of a time before its god, a god one could visit, a god one could touch. It's more would I have it here of this, for this tendril. In those days there was no empress. It was only agreed that the Vaughns spoke for the many-faced one. It had been ever thus. Now, for 80 days, the Vaughns felt they prayed for a sign that our searching was over. On the 80th day, two forms emerged. Where it walked, the soil gave forth, but behind the doe came. Surely, this great beast was a portent of death. Yet, desperate were these threadbare priests of old, and of these visions to their charges. And why not? The doe feels all who glimpse. It leaps among the shrub and bramble. There are those who think it more than a spirit. Those who glimpse the doe often glimpse the wolf. To hear those early vaunts, a simple deception but a far-reaching one. What must it be to spend an eternity check for the wolf and the doe? Have often the doe may spill the wolf's blood, and the Yesha itself forbids it. With the assurance of the Vaughns, the Pan were born who had never known one such. She was but 15 springs when she felt the calling of the Red Widow. As Genus approached the door of death, and it was the Red Widow's, but Genus's malady was known to her, to the elder Pan. Genus was shunned, cast out in none among them could have plague-ridden and scorned. The Red Widow Genus, after many days in the jungle, the Pan were humbled, for all signs of plague had fascinated. All Genus spoke of a vision that had come upon her. Pan, young and old, but then, when all seemed lost, this tree, the Thane, she named it, gave all who ate of it a light. The Pan embraced it, and their Genus rose to power on this. By spreading her message of doom, the Red Widows were easy converts. In time, they held more sway among the Red Widows. Genus was quickly the jungle. Recede, it is difficult. Suffice to say, there is enough truth to, and yet, in knowing her, many seasons passed. In her 77, the Thane called to her. 500 Pan were assembled to undertake the expedition. Many imagined they would never see it, those that lived long enough. Now, as young and beautiful as the day she first, she had been reborn a second time. No plague has touched the Pan since. For years they searched the forest, but many succumbed to death by the 21st spring. It was they whom she led into the cliff. It was they who tasted the fruit, and unless I am much mistaken, the Empress lives yet. If the pan vanish from ye, with death doth leashed, the eternal great cigarettes were hewn from the live. Venus's prophecies all came about. What of the great calamity? But none worried, save if you want. No achievement seemed to be. It was then that but the story of ye 49 immortals began. They traded favor with the Empress, traded They called it the Ravager. It sprang from the jungle as fear fell like night across the... There were those who would, but the Ravager was the green things of the jungle sprang from the red. Who knew what would become of the dog? Who knew? It was the twice humbled Vaughn, for the Vaughns had pondered the beast since it first appeared. It was they who had learned to listen to a balance return. The song of all living thing, it permeates our forest. The Vaughns devote, they play it to tap its power. Those attuned in prayer hear it. Even a Paxiltech, who is to say? With the Ravager appeased, the Thane tree. For many lifetimes her permanence, she had amassed a great store of fruit, and surely, why crack the very bed? But the tree's decline could not be arrested. We lay there, once prepared for the... Now, perhaps what came next was inevitable. Rebellion, in search for a life of lifetimes, but like the Vaughn's of old, had underestimated Genus herself. Navoon was, I know only, that she had no taste. Her words found home in the ears of the gull. Yesh, no slaves could hope to challenge the power of an immortal. But what about a nobility in disarray? One where they rose, first singly, then in a tidal wave. Ever was Genus served by some among the widow's ranks, for Genus herself had been the How fitting, then, that the last... It bridled when I called it. Surprised I am that it should let us walk those... It has heard of Yeshad's civil war. Up into that tempest walked one of its... whatever its motive. Even as the pan turned, our god of many faces, it was an ever-present comfort, the destroyer, Paxiltech. We knew not but in death. Many faces' absence was travelers. Spoke of who knew that the very air could rip. Oh, how our world's lifeblood, drizzling through, most perished. I thought our tale told, our race run. I gave the impression, perhaps, that this is not so. Perhaps they want not to defend Lash, in that no Rin could hope to whisk. The flying ones have no talent for crystal. I know not who first discovered, only that it is a whimsical god indeed. I suppose the history, it would be the blood moon has long. It is said to have, as such, modern I would have been counted among, and yet, for my, perhaps, the change, two-handed one. Does this slake the two-handed one's thirst for knowledge? Indeed, two-handed one. It bridled when surprised I am that it let us walk those prints now. That ever was Genus served by the Red Witch. Some among the widow's ranks forswore Genus herself had been the... How fitting, then, that it has heard of Yeshad's civil war, of slavery into that tempest, walked, whatever its motive. Even as the pan turned, our god of many faces, it was an ever-present comfort, the destroyer, Paxiltech. Oh, we knew not But in death, many faces' absence was soon felt. Travelers spoke of twisted horror. Who knew that the very air could rip? How our world's lifeblood, drizzling through, most perished. I thought our tale told, our race run. As sure as there is iron in it, was a pad-footed Paxeltech who slew, or perhaps as with Genus and it has done me a service unpaid. Colket brought war, its forebears brought the root. Take this now. The Pan must put their faith in. I forever owe it thanks. As to them, I must tend. Be well. Two-handed warrior. The Paxeltech has become full-minded scholar. I honor it.
How goes it, friend? You know where to find me.
You again. Why did you bring me? Move along, traveler. I'm a busy woman.
How goes it, friend? Ask away. All right. know where to find me.
How's the ward treating you? I could treat... Now we're talking. Good choice. Remember, the choices you make out there can come back to haunt you.